It might roll. And if it does, it does. Not a big deal. Let's hit it. There we go. Hitting it. So the ideal altitude for our first camera, there it goes. That ain't ideal. That's okay. It's because of the probe bodies. Remember how I was rotating things because of solar panels? So I would rather it went up with the SRBs on the sides. I don't know why. I find that looks kind of funny, but clearly it doesn't matter, so whatever. Anyway, I was getting the question about the alignment indicator on the Navball. I'm assuming we're talking about for docking. Just wait, I'm going to make sure the staging goes okay. Yeah. And that is called the Navball Docking Alignment Indicator. You've seen me use it in other streams whenever I'm using docking. Puts the little red icon on the Navball for docking. There is another very similarly named docking alignment indicator without the word Navball in it. And it's a different thing. It brings up a GUI off to the side. Look at the... Is that the shadow from the plumes? Do you see that to the side here? That looks really cool. At first I thought it was some sort of artifact, but I think it's actually showing the shadow on the plume coming off of here. Anyway, I'm watching too much of that. I'm hoping that's what Felix was asking about, and if it isn't, you know, please let me know. Getting a good look now at the proper environmental visual enhancements thing with Scatterer installed. I'm very conscious with not going overboard with the beautification mods, because if you do, you start to affect the frame rate, and especially this being a live stream, I'm going to favor frame rate over beauty every single time. But right now, well, this isn't a very big rocket, so it's not a big deal. All right, and let's see here. We are, should be telling me our inclination here. Our inclination is 89.3. We're shooting for 90 degrees. Oh, it's locking on the prograde vector with an inclination of 89.6. I'm okay with that. And we're going up to an altitude of, for the apoapsis of 75 kilometers. And the reason is because the first probe we're going to drop, the ideal altitude is 70 kilometers, but 70 kilometers is like the transition to the atmosphere. I want to be a little above that. Okay, and hopefully, I didn't even think about this. Oh, there goes fairings, and I didn't see solar panels break, which is always a good thing. But hopefully this stage, yes, it's going to go dry before we reach our target apoapsis, which is always what I'm shooting for. So that will just crash back into the surface, leaving us debris free. And then all the rest of this is up to this little fella. The little spark engine. All right. I love the look of tons of probes just all stacked on top of each other like this. I always think that's a great look. And where are we at? 63 kilometers there. Not a lot of thrust here on this little guy, but enough. You might recall a couple of streams ago I got into trouble that I didn't put a big enough engine on this upper stage, but I'll try not to make that same mistake. Alright, now this is going to work out fine. Less thrust at the top is absolutely fine. Not only do you not have to bring up such a big engine, it actually brings up the periapsis a lot. We just hit our target apoapsis of 75 kilometers, but our periapsis is only negative 10, so it won't take much of a circularization. I just gotta now time warp up out of the atmosphere. We're losing a smidge of altitude here, but that's okay. As long as this remains out of the atmosphere, I'm fine. Okay, let's stop the time warp there for a second. And getting itself organized. Nicey nice. And we are doing stuff, aren't we? No, we're not. We're not doing anything yet. No, we're not. Nope. Okay. Bump. 8 minutes, or a minute and a half to the burn here. So time warp away. Okay. Yeah, I miss the clouds, but I do like this. I know you can put the clouds on too. We'll play with this for a little while. Well, I like the way you get this kind of... I don't know if you can see it in the stream, but there's kind of filaments of clouds here. Should be getting our auroras too. We'll be going over the South Pole pretty soon, so we should be seeing an aurora. Okay, what do we got here for an altitude? Okay, periapsis just went over 70, so that's all I need to know. Beautiful. Okay, program has ended. Now, I'm going to turn this around. Let's turn this to radially outwards. I want to drop this first satellite. Aim our camera up here. And we'll just drop it right now. So decouple this node. Okay. Why did it bounce? Oh, I think it clipped onto here a little bit. I think it actually caught this little peg and bounced back. That's interesting. I'm free. I feel like I'm stuck. There we go. Wow, that was a little bit weird. Okay, let's... Okay, it is really turning in a funny way. Let's make this the control from here. Oh, wait a minute. What if I aim the camera and then reset the camera? Okay, now it's feeling... Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm still stuck on here. That's why. I think the reaction wheels are a tad too strong for this vessel. Which is, of course, not at all abnormal for this game. Okay, let's extend. I think I need just one solar panel, if I'm not mistaken. And extend this antenna. And start our scanner here. Flipping that open. Nicey nice. And let's just make sure. So it should be collecting, I don't know. Again, SCANsat doesn't get along super great with Kerbalism. Oh, let's extend that antenna. There we go. That helps. And the SCANsat's enabled. Should be good. Electricity. I think this is the one where I just needed the one panel. So we'll just extend the one panel. We'll leave this one as a backup. But otherwise, this thing should just start doing its visual scan of Kerbin. It should be doing it now. All right, let's go back to our other vessel. And we need to push this up to... I'm just going to do this right here, right now. This is why I pushed it away from me, so that now I can burn prograde. And we need to get up to a 250 kilometer altitude. So I'm just gonna do it. No maneuver nodes, no anything. Let's just go. So I'm just watching my apoapsis here. Uh-oh. I'm seeing a mention in the chat of something going wrong. Or maybe that's not in reference to me. Because things going wrong is what I do. It's what I do best. Okay, 160. Again, 250 is the target here. And it doesn't have to be super precise. Anything in that ballpark I'm sure is fine. Cutting it. Okay. And then we're going to run our circularization at apoapsis script, which creates a maneuver to do the insertion at the top end there. And then we'll do a little bit of solar panel alignments here. This way. There we go. Now, a mod that I uninstalled because it's been giving me some headaches, I've had some headaches in the past, is I have uninstalled, let's get up there. I have uninstalled persistent rotation. So that means that when I time warp now, it will no longer rotate. I actually really like that feature in persistent rotation. Get this ready to do its burn. But there were things happening that things went wrong even while I was sending out, setting up thumbnails and things like that. So I thought, persistent rotation's too much of a headache. It's out the door until I see it, I don't know, upgraded again. Maybe I'll try it again because I really do like the mod. Okay. So this is going to be a circularization at an altitude of 250 kilometers. Starting to burn. And then we'll drop our next one. Okay, and here, let's extend this antenna. Actually, no, I can, let's extend the antenna. I think it's better to be safe. There we go. Extend that antenna. And we'll drop our next fella. Again, I'm going to point you radially out away from Kerbin. Decouple this node. Go up to you. And be very careful with the reorientation because the reaction wheels are silly strong. I should have turned them down a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, let's extend this one. I'm pretty sure I need both of these antennas, or both of these sets of solar panels in order to do it. And we will start this scanner. Okay, I'll look over here, make sure everything is on. It all is. All right, and again, this should be doing its high-res altimetry scan of Kerbin. It'll take a while for any... Oh, there it's... Oh, it's doing it and transmitting it. I saw it there for a moment, so it's transmitting it as quickly as it's doing it. That's good. That's a good sign. Okay, let's get back to our parent vessel. And all I got to do now with this one is put it prograde, get it up to 300 kilometers, and we are done. Okay, so where are we? Here we are. Say goodbye to that fella. Okay, again, we'll run our circularization at Apoapsis to create the burn to just circularize only 28 meters per second, and there's still 780 meters per second left in this vehicle, so clearly that's not going to be an issue. Let's get up there. So John says that he hasn't noticed a problem with persistent rotation, but he's not been using the GUI. And that you might be absolutely right. So maybe what I need to do, the GUI is what you can use to set it so that you can adjust the reference frame and, whoops, sorry, run the Xman script, okay. You can get it to adjust the reference frame and get it to lock to certain rotations, and I do think that that's where it messes up. I actually went out to Minmus Station last week just to make a thumbnail, and the whole station exploded. Now, thankfully, I had recently just saved it, so, you know, it wasn't a big deal, but that was sort of the thing. I said, I'm getting rid of this persistent rotation, because I'm pretty sure that was what the culprit was. But maybe what I need to do is reinstall it, and just not play with the little GUI, and just leave it all on the defaults, and then I probably won't get myself into trouble, because I do like that. I don't like how the ships freeze in their attitude when you time warp. I've been asked from Benjamin, what mod are you using for the mapper? And the mod that I am using is the SCANsat mod. That is the mod. In fact, we'll bring up the SCANsat interface in just a bit once we get this fella going. So there we are, 300 by 300 or close enough. And that program's ended. This is, and why is there still a burn here that just doesn't want to go away? I don't know. Delete that way then. Okay. Let's orient you again for solar panels. Oh my gosh. Get you this way. And that way. That should be good. And I don't know why you can turn them on. You can turn all this stuff on from here too. Turn on our little scanner. A little hatch opens up there when I do that. And that is doing a biome scan as well as a resource scan of Kerbin, though I don't know how many resources there are. Oh, I'm looking at this texture. Look at all the little wires and plugs they put in here. Nice detail. Let's bring up the SCANsat interface just to show people. So this is an example of the SCANsat map that you get. This is already a biome map of Kerbin. I'm now doing a high-res biome map, but if I switch map types to visual, that's one that we're just getting started with. Okay, looks like I kind of have a visual scan of Kerbin. I don't know why. That's interesting. Maybe it's just doing a better visual scan. But these are the maps that you get when you... Here's the altimetry scan. It's just beginning. You can sort of see it here. If I do the zoom in bit, how do you get that zoom in map? I always forget that. There it is. Let's stop the. If I do the little zoom in map and I zoom into here, it's not going to let me. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a bit of high-res altimetry scanning happening from our previous satellite. And I can show you can go to other celestial bodies. I've most recently put ones around Minmus. So there is that high-resolution altimetry scan of Minmus. That looks gorgeous. Some gray spots still left, but not bad. I got a biome map of Minmus. Again, more gray stuff left, but it's in the process of happening. A visual scan of Minmus. That looks pretty much done and is gorgeous. I love it. So really, really nice. Okay. So we got that mapping happening. Let's, I think we can leave all this, get back to the Space Center. Let's do something else. I think what I'll do to finish off this stream, just taking a look at the time, is send some science probes towards the moon. I think that's what I'm going to do. And then maybe in the interim, I'll do the other satellites, because they'll just be so much similar. Let's see here. So what I want to do is I want to do some stuff around the moon. I've never done any gravity scans around the moon, and I've not done the magnetometer around the moon. So let's get into showing you that. So again, start with the Octo 2 probe. And let's start with the gravity scanner. This is the stock GravMax negative gravioli detector, but what Kerbalism does to it is it makes it take 90 days in order for it to finish its scan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send up 4 of these to facilitate this going quicker. I did this around Kerbin and completely botched the, well, not completely, 60% botched the insertion. They're working, but not working as well as they should have. I'll try and do better here around the moon, but the idea here is actually just to build something that simply, I'll drop 2 of them in high space, 2 of them in low space, and that will double up the amount of time that it takes to collect all the science that it needs. There's no biomes in space low and space high, as you can see. So it should take 45 days. We collect all the gravity science, and that should be it. The other science that I've still to collect around the moon is the magnetometer, this guy. Magnetometer boom. Well, I want to send this. Now, this only takes 7 days to collect everything that it needs to. So what I'm going to do is actually send up just 2 of them. And I'll leave 1 in high space, 1 in low space. And that should work out pretty easily, I think. So what we need to do here, this will be one we'll drop in high space, is we'll turn that, and we'll turn this one on. And again, we'll configure this probe. And this will be another one that will, sorry, doesn't do any science. My mistake. Turn off all the science on the probe. This will be another one that won't need any propulsion. You'll just drop it and let it do its thing, and then that will be that. Did I say Moho at some point, Dan? If I'm sorry, I didn't. Yes, I have sent. Did I go? Yes, I flew by Moho at least once. Yes, I did. It was quick. I will admit to that. That was during my interplanetary phase. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I visited Moho, Eve, and Duna. So we're sticking for now within the Kerbin system. So Kerbin, Moon, and Mimis. Okay, where was I at? Okay, how much electricity does this use? Not too much. 0.271 units of electric charge per second. So what I'm going to do is put in again a reaction wheel. And this time I'm going to turn down the wheel authority on this because they're way too powerful. And we'll put on a battery. A small battery. This isn't going to be much of a probe. And then I'm going to stick on, I'm hoping I can get away with the oxats this time. I kind of like 6 like that. What does that do for solar generation? So, if you click here, it actually estimates how much, and it is estimating this will generate 0.429 units of electric charge per second, and it consumes 0.271, so this will be absolutely fine. There'll be no issue. Oh wait, I forgot an antenna. Silly me. How long will this last in the dark before I get any further? 42 minutes in the dark. That should be fine. Absolutely, that should be fine. So, okay. So let's put some structural pieces on the bottom of this. I'm forgetting an antenna. Doo-doo-doo. And if we take a look, actually a good place to go is the Science Archive. It gives you all the gravity scan. The rate at which it produces data is 13.28 kilobytes per second. So that's something to be conscious of. That's a lot of data, and you want to be able to transmit that. And the magnetometer report is 3.64. So 3.64, let's call it 4 plus 13, 17, 18. What do I got for antennas? I bet you this guy's fine. This guy can transmit at 25 kilobytes per second. To be honest, my network around the moon will be the weak link in all this. That should be fine. And again, we'll up the disk data capacity here. Okay, let's just check this once again. We're still producing more than enough electricity, I think. I think so. And in the dark, how long will it survive in the dark? 32 minutes. That, by my calculations, should be fine. So this is a single, yeah, I think this is a probe. I think this is a probe. Put you there. Put you here. You know what? Why not put, because it certainly doesn't hurt, why not just put an extra bit of batteries on the bottom? Never hurts to have too many batteries. 42 minutes it'll now last in the dark. Pull these solar panels out a little bit. Like that. Maybe up a little bit. I'm perfectly good with that. And then so this is what the probe will look like. That's a whole probe right there. Beautiful. I don't see a problem with that. Put on the gold foil on you. Again, that's 1. We will retract you. He's coming, yep. We'll retract you. Let's get rid of the checklist. You're just in the way. Oh, I just turned off the retract it. And we'll turn off the grab max. Well, might as well leave it on. There's no reason to keep it off. Okay, that's one probe. Let's put a decoupler on there. Bum, 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 bum. That's the one. Again, we'll do the flipping upside down trick so we don't have the problem with the fairing. 1.25 meter fairing. Again, we'll turn on the interstage nodes. Put you right at the top, just like that. Make the fairing the root part. And did I turn down the force on that decoupler? I did not. So that's one probe. We need two of them to drop into high space because of how long. Ooh, I don't. Okay, look. I might be tight for space on this one because this one's going to have 4 probes on it. Oh, maybe not. Oh, no, I can squeeze another one. This one won't require a magnetometer because this magnetometer just takes 7 days. And if I make this fella the root part, I don't see any reason why. Of course this is going to be fine. I'm taking off stuff. Of course it's going to be fine. So that's another probe. That was quick and easy. And then what we're going to do is duplicate that fella again. Let's make the root part the top again. Stick you here. This one will get dropped into low space around the moon, again to grab gravity-only, and it's going to be fine just like that. I don't see, again, any reason to do anything with it. And then what we'll do is we will put one more. I'm going to get the 1.25 meter service bay. We'll tuck that under there. And inside this, we'll put a structural bit. Actually, no, let's put in some batteries. Batteries, there we go. The Z200. Just fill that whole kind of zone in there with batteries. Well, maybe not. Just leave it like that. Because these have 2, so 2 should be fine. And we'll put another grab max in here. And one more magnetometer. So I'm hoping this makes sense. So the whole plan in this is that we're going to put ourselves into an orbit in high space about the moon, drop these 2. They're going to go ahead and collect their science. We'll go to low space about the moon. We'll drop this one and then this one. So we'll have 4 satellites all told, 2 in high space, 2 in low space, all collecting their science. So hopefully this will expedite this and make this go a fair amount quicker. Now I do need a probe body down there. I'm just realizing too, I need a probe body. And I'm also... poop. I also need the KOS thingy. So I might need to lose that battery. But here, one thing at a time. Let's lose all these contracts. Boot file, that's all set. Okay, who's this? You're just in the way. That one. Make you the root part. And let's stick in just a couple more batteries because I took a battery out. There we go. I'm happy with that. Oh, and there'll be an antenna too. Don't like, they're not centered. I'm getting too picky now, but I don't care. I can be picky if I want to be. I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, just forget it. Trying to get it so that they're exactly opposite to each other and they're just being a pain, and I don't. Fine, be that way. Just be right there. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm forgetting? I'm forgetting lights. How can you forget lights? Lights. 3 should do her, I think. Amber lights, blink on, half-second intervals. 3 there. 3 there. 3 there. Great. And this needs, now I think I will light up this little zone. Those will just be white. Leave them just the way they are. And I also want to light up inside here. So I like lights. I like when lights, things are all lit up. Well, those are upside down. Upside down's not good. There. Gray looks best. Sure. That will light up the inside of that. And this thing needs to get itself to the moon. That's about 1,200 meters per second. The actual orbital changing will be trivial. So if I'm just a little over 1,200 meters per second, I think that will be fine. Well, again, what do I get with that and a spark on the bottom? Make the top piece the root part, because that's what Kerbalism or Kerbal Engineer seems to like. And we'll put the engine down here on the bottom. We gotta check. Staging is an absolute disaster. Take this one out. There. Okay. That is 1697 meters of delta V right there. That's going to be fine. Oh, wait, but I also want... Oh, no, 1,200 plus another 1,000. No, I do want a little more. A little more because... I want this to do the upper part of the insertion too. What do we get when I arrange these by mass? I don't know if I want to get into these. Oh, maybe. If I do that, I think I'm going to need a bigger engine. Let's step her up to the pug engine. $23, yeah, that's easy. Easy enough there. Maybe just 3 of these basketballs. $22.70. Like it. Now what we'll do is we'll just tuck these basketballs in like so. And maybe take off the goldness. Maybe silver, gold. There we go. You know what? That's fine. Just like that. Okay, it needs an antenna. Silly Billy. Like so. And it also needs solar panels. This thing doesn't have solar panels yet. Oh, people were spotting it in the chat that I needed that. Put 8 of them around here. I know that will be fine. That will be absolutely fine. Tuck these in here. And what we'll do, I'm just noticing, I don't like this antenna right here, or this solar panel there, so we're just going to remove the symmetry, remove just you. There we go. Okay, I'm thinking 2281. Ooh, I wouldn't mind it. No, I wouldn't. 2180. I think I need a little bit more fuel now. I thought I was getting it, but now 2279. I don't think I want. I'm a little light on the thrust department, and I've had that problem before. But the next step up from the pug, what's the torch like? Oh, but it's not. The ISP stinks on it, I'm sure. 295 compared to 320. Not nearly... Yeah. The Torch is meant to be a really small upper stage engine, not a vacuum engine. Yeah, that's no good. But I don't want to go all the way to the Terrier, because the Terrier for this thing would be huge. Okay, we're gonna live with the Pug. It's just the 0.79 thrust to weight right at the top. It feels a little bit, but maybe if I throw in just a few of these spiders, just to give it a little bit more thrust. Of course, that just took away from the ISP. You're stinky. You just want me to be sad. I want this over 2200. Now that's just me being pedantic perhaps, but okay, I'm going to sneak in one of these little bitty fuel cans right in there. Probably don't even know it's there, but now it's 2235 meters per second, almost 0.9 thrust to weight ratio. I'm happy with this. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm going to stop.